Oops.
Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 200. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you are not a member of our private Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I am one of your hosts. I would like to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is not censored, so listen at your own risk. I have sitting to my right the most beautiful, intelligent, and wonderful person in the entire world, my lovely wife, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, Jackson Tan. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am fantastic.
I turned 40.
Welcome to your new age group. I was just going to say, welcome to your new age group.
Over the hill.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nicely done. To her right, we have the Reverend Vaughn Rawls.
Here I am.
Who's been over the hill.
I've been over the hill and back up it.
And he enjoying the view from there.
He used to walk uphill both ways to go to school.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's at that age now.
Right.
No.
And with us, Big Thirsty Brian Swanson.
Welcome back.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
He's
We
been
got the
gone
band back
forever.
together.
Yeah.
Life and work and all the things have gotten in the way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't choose to be away from here, but sometimes got to prioritize other things. So life is good, though.
Life is good. 200 episodes is good. Can I have my 200 episode moment?
200.
Yes. I want to tell y'all how much y'all have meant to me to continue showing up for this. You know, Vaughn and I started this in the garage, and it was very clear that we were podcasting from a garage. We had no experience. We continued to do it, fought through the awkwardness, got a little equipment, got a little experience under our belt, continued to do it. Took the podcast indoors for one episode. Amanda came on. I believe it was Dan Koloski.
It was.
And that was so much fun that the next episode, I think, was Scott Hollis. And that's when I decided we really need to do this.
Scott gave us lights, too. He gave us lighting.
Scott gave us
That's
lights.
right. That's where those funky lights came from.
There's been so many reasons, Amanda, for you to say this is enough. Like, don't spend any more money on this. Don't build a, full-fledged studio out in the shop. It's absurd. I got better things to do. Vaughn, there's a million reasons for you to have stopped coming around. Thirsty, you have no...
I've got no good excuse.
Can't get rid of him.
I have literally nothing better to do, so I appreciate it.
And just the community as a whole, you will never know how much that the Lift Heavy Run Long community has meant to me. I came to you, Vaughn, 6 years maybe. I joined Olive Branch CrossFit. Didn't even know that people ran 50-mile races. I just assumed that
dumb.
That you died. I thought if you ran more than a marathon, I thought like people die in marathons.
Because that's what the first guy did.
Right.
He ran 26-ish miles.
Well, actually,
and he
he
died after he delivered the message.
He actually ran like 100 or more miles. If you
don't change the story.
No, I think it was less.
Hey,
it was more.
This is our story.
It was actually less.
This is our story.
But anyways,
It's not his story. It's yours. You tell us your history.
Yeah, you tell us what history is. You make the history.
Don't let me.
Did y'all miss me?
Vaughn, you let me be a part of Lift Heavy Run Long, and I did that after finishing Tunnel Hill 50 miler and deadlifting 400 pounds. I came to you and asked if you would let me have a share in it, and you said, let's do this.
Yeah.
And we opened it up to the public, to many people's dismay.
What?
because I caught some flack for that there was other people who didn't like other people in the group. And if I was going to open it up and this person was going to be in it, well, then this person didn't want to be in it. And I said, that's just the way it's going to be.
I gave you flack for that?
No. People in the group. It was a small group.
Who was it?
Of Lift Heavy Run Long people.
Flag.
There was 3 different people specifically whose names I won't mention, and it's not important. But the best thing that we ever did was to tell people that this is not
It's okay
an
to be
exclusive group.
It's okay to be you.
Well, I want to say that the biggest hang up that I had from the very beginning was that it was lift heavy, run long, and I felt like it always had to be about lift heavy, run long, right? And even when I very first started, like I was like, I don't know how much I can write about this lifting heavy and run long. Like, if I'm just going to post workouts, and what else can I talk about? There's a million other things I could have talked about, because now, because of you, this whole thing is evolved into, it almost has nothing to do with lift heavy, run long. I mean, it does. That's the thing. But like, there's so many more stories and so many more awesome things going on that we want to know. Or it doesn't really matter if you lift heavy or run long. This is a relative thing,
Right.
You know, it's more
Or
about
both or neither.
Yeah, it's more of a completely different thing now. It just has a really cool name.
It has a really cool name, without question. And I think it's a culture. I think the community itself has built its own culture.
Right.
And that doesn't have anything to do necessarily with, certainly not with any one person. And I think
Right.
that's the beauty of it, is that Lift Heavy Run Long it's a community of people. It's
Right.
not a board. It's not a hierarchy. It's just a bunch of people who stay active and, don't act like dickheads.
Yes.
And for the most part,
For
that's been the way that it stayed. Now, we've had a lot of help. We've had the LHRL ambassadors and the people that have just been passionate about making sure that if you don't belong here, you don't stay here.
Right.
And I think that's something that could have easily gone awry a long time ago. And then we decided, maybe it'd be a good idea to let people in who sell couch covers
Yeah.
and Ray-Bans
And fruit.
and fruit. And then we decided maybe that wasn't the best
Yeah.
idea. How did that happen?
We just weren't seeing any return on the investment of the, of the couch covers.
Why do they target? Why do people target certain things like that? There's just so many of them. There's so many bogus people trying to get in, or bots, or whatever it is.
Yeah, they're just going into every open group they can go into. I mean,
Heavy lifters need bed covers too.
That's right. That's true.
Let's be clear. Like, if you can write an app or a script or a bot or whatever you want to call it that'll go and join 10,000 groups, so you're going to put 10 hours into writing the script, and it'll go join 10,000 groups and post 10,000 messages every month, and you get one person that responds,
You get like a nickel.
it was worth it.
You get
True,
like a
very
nickel.
If you get one person that responds,
Yeah.
it was worth the profits that you made.
Yeah.
Chances are good you're going to get more than one person.
Uh-huh.
And
But
that's
I feel
why
like
they
those
do
people are being paid by the people who make the couch cover.
No, it's an affiliate program.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it.
He probably wrote the damn bot.
I'm not.
He's like, he's the one who posted the damn couch covers. He's like, I'll put it on lift heavy, run long.
I mean, in this day and age of the internet, like I can post 100,000 messages about buying this thing for $50, and if I make $10 off of every $50 order, then I'm winning, right? Like it didn't cost me anything other than my time to write the thing, and that's why spammers will keep doing.
But who's the
That's
guy
why
that writes the
fishers will-
script that shows somebody putting a dog down or eating a
I'm sorry. what?
boa constrictor eating a? There's people that just join
Right.
and then they post these videos of
It's the
somebody
videos like you won't believe this video of this dog.
Yeah, but somewhere in there,
This
there's
guy
a
had
link
to
that goes
shoot.
to something else, right?
I don't know. I
Or
don't
is
ever
it
look
just-
at it. We
or
just
is it
kick them
just
out, throw them
yeah.
out.
Anyway. So let episode 200.
100.
That's
200. Episode 200.
Live from Pennsylvania.
200.
100. Go ahead.
You
52.
did say 100.
Go ahead. Keep hollering. What you got?
52 weeks a year. So 208 episodes would be 4 years, but we haven't recorded every week.
No.
So we've been doing this longer than 4 years. And how long does an average podcast last?
An hour.
I mean, number of episodes, regardless of length.
I think it's 13.
13. So we've exceeded that average.
The last that I checked, it was 13, and it was, I think, 32 downloads.
And we haven't tried to sell a mattress one time.
Nope.
Oh, now's your time. Let me tell you about the Sleep Comfort bed.
I want to tell you about Rocket Mortgage.
No, but so that's impressive, obviously, that we've outlasted on that end. But then I was also just thinking earlier today about small businesses. You know, the average small business doesn't last, whatever it is, 2 or 3 years.
Less than 2.
Less than 2. And then of the ones that survive more than 2, most of them don't last more than 5.
Yeah.
And so I think you just said we're somewhere around 6 years into this.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion. So the staying power of this, and it's not going away anytime soon. Like, the community just keeps getting bigger. They keep getting stronger.
And the fact that we can structure this as a business and stay in business for 6 years and not make any money, it really says a lot about a lot.
Well, yeah, I didn't mean to imply that it was a money-making business.
Our abilities as businessmen, as marketers.
Maybe I should tell you about Rocket Mortgage.
We probably should be telling you about something useful. We just don't know anything about anything useful
it's
to
like,
sell you.
my brother, my oldest brother's a drag racer. He used to drag race for NHRA and MCA, and he said the only way to make a small fortune in drag racing is to start off with a large fortune.
Yeah.
And I think that's the case here.
I believe that. There's a few things that I would like to cover. One is our serial reviewer is back once again.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Indeed.
This is going to make my day.
Indeed.
Let's have it.
So we have, I hit it up underneath here.
Did they review like Honey Nut Cheerios this time?
Well, you'll have to see. Did you see the last one?
I did. You blamed it on me.
Katie.
It wasn't me. Did you guys see that commercial?
Katie, is Katie crafty?
She is crafty.
Is that something that she would cut and these are taped?
I don't think she
not pasted.
No. She would not go so low.
Somebody has a lot of time to make this.
Okay, well, there's a clue. LHRL crew. Vaughn, Wilson, Amanda, Brian. It was so great meeting you all at BHP.
Big Hill Pond.
Dreaming of the next time. Your giant fan. Giant fan.
I was going to say Corey Adams, but he didn't meet us at Big Hill Pond.
Corey cannot cut out things out of magazines.
Giant. Oh, that could be New York Giants, though.
Could be.
Who is? I'm going to come up with her name in about 2.2 seconds. She came in for that race. She's from Phoenix.
Yeah.
We went and had breakfast with her the next morning.
I got you. Hold on. I'm going to take a picture.
Robin?
Yeah.
Robin.
You think
Reichert. That's exactly
Robin would do
it.
that?
I don't think Robin.
I'm just saying that is somebody we met at. She came in town for Big Hill Pond. And if it wasn't her, the only other person that I could think of that came to Memphis for Big Hill Pond that we met, I mean, it could be somebody from Memphis that we met at Big Hill Pond, but Brenda is the only other person that came in
Brenda
town for Big Hill Pond. Just saying. Let me review the evidence.
And there's no return address stamp on the.
Yeah, but there's got to be a postmark.
Yeah, the postmark has to have this place where it was.
Has where it was stamped.
It was blacked out.
No,
you can't post. You can't black it out if they postmark
Well,
it.
go look at it.
Okay, I'm going off mic.
I mean, all the evidence is open. I'm not sealing anything off. I want to let you look at it. You're part of the team. Yeah.
We can. Yeah, you give me this tracking number will tell me what post office is dropped off.
Okay, well, get out your little tracking number scanner.
Detective Brian is on the case.
Yeah, he's going to find
Detective Thirsty.
You screwed up now. There's a tracking number.
Are you doing screwed up now? Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Who's got a guess? I wonder what the consensus is.
It's either, my guess is it's going to be Michigan or Arizona.
Okay. All right. So I never found a pickle guy. Did you see my question about trying to get
Wait a minute,
somebody
you didn't
to grow
find a
some
pickle by somebody delivered
thought you
pickles
did
to you.
have-
But he's not going to be. Pedroli delivered me a 5-gallon bucket of pickles. But
And that should last you at least 2 weeks.
I can't rely on him to consistently ship me. I was looking for a grower, man. Did you see the
somebody's
question?
growing.
Did you
Shower,
even
not a
look at the
grower.
question?
I might be
I
growing
did.
pickles
I saw
pretty
it.
soon.
I got everything but a pickle
I
guy
don't
out
think
of
you can
that.
grow pickles, though. I think it's Everybody, give me some
Grow
pickle.
me some pickles.
Give me some pickle seeds. I'll plant them, and I'll give them to you when they grow.
I'll give you some pizza seeds too.
Hey, what are we doing this weekend?
We're doing Sylamore.
We're doing Sylamore.
It's gonna be cold as.
Oh boy, it's going to be cold.
That was the single biggest reason why I was potentially sad that we might not record tonight was because this is like our pre-Sylamore episode.
Yeah. It's
And
not
some-
like our pre-Sylamore episode.
And
it is.
sometimes we even record at Sylamore.
Yep.
That's just crazy talk, though.
I had to get away with that. Get away from that. It's just too
that's
much.
a big
It's
task
just-
for you to bring all that
That's
stuff.
an investment. Yeah.
Yep.
Wilson, are you doing these yourself? The letter.
No.
letters?
I can promise you that. At first, we don't even have any magazines.
He's not going to take the time that it takes. I guarantee you, he's going to spend his time doing programming.
I was right.
I'm
I
obsessed
was
with
right.
the app. What?
Which one?
It's Michigan.
Is it really?
It's Brenda. It's got to be Brenda. She met us. She met us at Big Up Pond.
She
That
did,
was-
yeah.
But Grayling, Michigan, is where
Wow.
it originated at.
Wow.
Well,
I found you, Brenda.
Thirsty the slew.
the next one we get, we'll see what happens. She might throw us a curveball.
Yeah.
She's gonna drive to. She's gonna drive to
Down to
Indiana to ship it.
She might drive to your house and kill you. That's what might happen.
That's right.
Let me see.
You
Let me
might
see
get a
what it
letter
says.
in your mailbox.
Your giant fan.
That throws me off, though. You're a giant fan. I feel like
I almost wonder, like maybe that's a reference to like how I show up as a giant in some photos or something like that. And I feel like she.
likes you better
She
than
show-
she likes us.
Yeah, let's
no,
keep it
no.
about you if we can.
No.
God, y'all.
No, I love the ball busting. I really do. Don't ever stop.
I think it's because of me.
I'm sure that all this originated because I am here.
Well, listen, my name is in the Helvetica font, so I think she's paid attention to that in the past, and so I really think
the
whoever
L,
it is probably better.
The L
fan
and
of
the
me.
H is for Wilson. The L in Wilson and the H in
wasn't-
Horror.
If it wasn't for me, she wouldn't. Whoever it
And the
is.
R is for Rawls.
For Horrell, the R in Horrell. Okay, what
feel-
point were you trying to make?
I feel like. Do you remember like a year or two ago there were like a bunch of photos
And
that
you're
like I
giant.
looked
Yes.
giant in the
Yeah.
photo without it being photoshopped,
Yeah.
right? I feel like she posted a photo of her running with her friends where she also looked like a giant.
yeah,
That's my only point.
yeah.
I don't know that that's a thing.
I think she's a big fan. is
and
what
she
she's
might be a
saying.
New York fan.
I think
Or
she's
she
saying-
might
I
just
think
be
she's
the
saying
biggest.
she's a
She
big
might be
fan.
our biggest fan.
She's a
ever.
giant fan. You know,
That
you got to
could-
take what you can get when you're
Huge.
searching around for something to cut out to mail to somebody to a
Well-
mediocre podcast. Then
But when you're trying to do conspiracy theories, you gotta explore all the angles.
well, Brenda should be
I mean,
one
why,
step closer
Why is the H red?
to being able to kill somebody and get away with it because she knows now about postage and that scanner bar is something that can be traced. But
Michigan.
nonetheless, we have a cold weekend ahead of us.
Yes, you
You're
do.
still in, correct?
That is the rumor.
For Sylamore.
I think I saw a conversation of somewhere between colder than a witch's tit and colder than a well digger's ass forecasts for Sylamore.
Yep.
It is going to be extremely cold.
So we got a low of 6 on Friday night.
Friday night.
A high of what, 12? Is that correct?
That's 24.
24?
24
Oh.
on Saturday is the
Man.
high.
I'm all about that.
So it's going to be freezing cold.
Yeah,
in
but
the
you
morning
run
time.
hot. Like
I
your
do.
body temperature runs
you're not
hot.
you're not going to see 10 degrees. I mean, if it's 6 the night before, I don't think it's going to get up to much more than maybe 12 or 15 by the time you get done.
No,
running.
my point is like if it got up to like 50 or 60, like I would be uncomfortable. But 12, like I can just keep the clothes I start in on the whole race and
Really?
be comfortable.
So that's
Have you
the
ran in that
question.
temperature before?
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't think I've ever ran
What
in-
clothing? That's the big question everybody has is what clothing choices are you? I know you do tights.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear tights and shorts, and I'll have a cold weather tech
Compression
shirt,
shirt,
like a
yeah.
compression shirt on, and then some kind of long sleeve over that, and then I'll probably have some kind of a knit cap, but I'll probably take that off within a mile.
Kevin Leathers wrote some really good advice. You want me to read it to you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't run.
Don't run. Well, that was the number one advice. I took that already.
Okay.
And so now we're at Sam Renfro asked him, hey, it's going to be pretty dadgum cold. What do we do? So I'll read this to you. He says, I think the compression gear next to the body is smart. You don't want a soaked layer sitting on your skin. The Lycra, is that how you say it? Mm-hmm. The Lycra will dry quicker than anything. Some tips. Put extra dry gloves in a Ziploc bag. Frozen gloves and hands will ruin your day. Put some extra hot hand warmers in a Ziploc too that can help warm frozen hands throughout the run. When you get to the creek, take off your top layer and put it in another Ziploc. When you get across the creek, put the dry layer back on. It will help keep the wind chill off your wet stuff at least. Hold your water bottle upside down.
I don't have shirts that long, Kevin.
I don't have attention that long.
Hold your water bottle upside down to prevent the valve from freezing. Just make sure it is closed.
Okay. That's good advice.
So there you go.
And for those in the inner circle, Kate Max wants to remind everybody that she'll be at Blanchard Springs if you need to drop anything off or pick anything up.
Tell her to build a big fire.
Oh, yeah. That'll be good. Because I was planning on doing long sleeve. I don't ever really bundle up, so I don't really know what that's like. So I'm going to wear something long sleeved, and then I'm going to wear probably a short sleeve shirt, and then this vest that I got from Under Armour that's like a sleeveless vest that's like really tight.
Yeah.
Like the things that they put on dogs who have anxiety.
Yeah, a thunder jacket.
It's like that. I look like
He's got a Thunderdome jacket
bomb in it, but it might suffocate me. I'm not sure. I got to be careful how much I eat at the aid stations because it's pretty snug.
Well, here's
And then
the
I'm
thing.
going to put on a hoodie on top of that and hopefully just tie it for my head, or maybe I should bring a head thing.
If you put the thunder jacket on at the start of the race, just don't remove it. You're good until you unzip it. Once you unzip it, you can't be guaranteed that it'll zip back because of how much you might partake at the aid stations.
Right.
But if it's zipped, it won't come unzipped.
but he's not gonna wear tights.
Okay.
I'm a shorts guy.
I don't know. I'm truly concerned with that. I mean, you're a big boy. You can make your own decisions.
Well, the only
but
tights-
I'm really worried about him not wearing a layer of tights on
I
his
don't know what
legs.
the Lycra
The way I'm going to
stuff
go out
but-
is not by freezing to death.
I think, what I would tell you to feel comfortable is make sure he has tights or something at Blanchard Springs. He is going to survive that first 5 miles. It's after the first 5 miles that he might regret.
Yeah, that's what I wonder
his
about
choice.
because I've never.
I think that it boils down to I would rather die than wear tights.
I just rather die.
I'm not saying tights, but you hear what I'm saying. Like, just have
I think,
some kind of
I think
backup plan.
my legs have never, ever once been cold. My body, my hands and everything else gets cold, but I've never had cold legs. I've never run in 6 degree temperature.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, I've
Okay,
ran.
make sure the hot hands are in the truck.
So I realize I'm setting myself up for a big I told you so. I get that.
I know. I mean, I'm really worried that it being that cold. I'm usually not worried about races, but I'm really scared
Well,
that I
what
will
scares
not
me
warm up
is
at this race.
I have ran cold races and bundled up at the start. Halfway through, you start shedding stuff off because it gets warmer during the day. But this is not going to get warm.
Right.
It's
And
not.
Exactly.
that's the thing that's exciting to me. Seriously, is that
Me
it's
too.
not going to get stupid warm
Me too.
because, like, and
I don't even mean
Vaughn,
stupid
maybe,
warm. I just mean,
maybe
like-
you never did any of the Shelby Forest trail running like
No.
in the winter, but like I know Brad Montgomery and I did. I know Lynn Aaron and I did. Like, there'd be snow on the ground, and I won't say it was 6 or 10, but it was under 20 for sure.
Well, we've done
And
Sylamore where there's snow and ice on the ground. And
we
that
went
wasn't
out
too
there
bad.
and did 15 plus miles.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
It did. It snowed us. Yeah, the very first Sylamore we did was snow and ice, and it snowed on us the whole time.
But it wasn't
But it wasn't
15
6.
degrees,
No, it was not.
20 degrees.
It's going to be awesome. Sylamore going to Sylamore. I mean, no. Whenever you go to Sylamore, it's going to be Sylamore weather.
K-Max says she'd be willing to ditch me to support the real athletes who are doing the 50K.
I am as looking forward to suffering through this thing as I have ever been.
You know what? And I say this with zero sarcasm. Like, I think you being enough like me, like liking to run in the cold, this could be your best race yet.
If I can get to the halfway point and somebody spin me around and kick me in the right direction, then I'll happily let the wheels fall off from there. I've got a friend of mine that he's probably 75 years old, and he's in my 12-step program with me. And he was talking about when he was young, his mom would make him go with his dad, who would ride a mule into town to pick up supplies. And he would have to stay with his dad and the mule up to a certain point because his mom wanted him to stay there because his dad would start drinking once his kid got away. And the only thing his mom was concerned with was could he stay sober enough to get to the place to pick up the supplies to get turned around because the mule knew its way home. And so I feel like I know my way home.
You're the mule in
If
this
I'm the mule in this scenario. Just get me there, spin me around, and I'll suffer my way back.
I believe that. I seriously do.
But I mean, it's still going to be a 10 or 10 plus hour day.
And I have no idea how much you've been running or anything like that. So assuming it is similar to previous years, I believe this could be your best race ever because you're not going to get hot.
It should be interesting. I think it'll be my funnest. I'm looking forward to it regardless of what best looks like.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to ice or anything like that, but cold I'm not worried about.
Yeah.
The ice I hate, but the cold I'm not scared of.
Well, our friend Rebecca Hicks asks what is going to be what's in our drop bag, or what are we going to carry with us, or have K-Max bring.
I'll have some sort of change of clothes at Blanchard Springs because on the off chance that I don't get warmed up from the creek crossing.
I don't know that this question.
But that's never been a case.
I don't know that this is specific to Sylamore.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's drop bag.
Yeah.
Wherever you, what do you carry in a drop bag?
McDonald's cheeseburgers.
McDonald's cheeseburgers. Is that your number one thing? If you're gonna have a drop bag with,
I'll make sure
thing,
K-Max has 20 or 30 cheeseburgers if we need them.
that would be nice.
I don't. I don't do drop bags for Sylamore because their aid stations are so great. But
They're 8 stations.
Tunnel Hill, it was a change of clothes, jackets, shoes, which I never did change shoes. I kept the ones I had, but tape for my feet because my plantar fasciitis would flare up. So I would tape my feet, extra pair of socks, some goos and stuff.
Ibuprofen.
Nothing too big.
You're not supposed to take ibuprofen, but
I take naproxen. It's for 12 hours, so I usually take it, I take some the night before the race, and I take some that morning, and then I'm good. I don't have to take any more.
Melissa Burgess asked a killer hypothetical.
uh-oh.
You can only run one trail race this year. Which one and why?
Sylamore.
Is it Sylamore? Mm-hmm. It's a tough one.
No, I mean any race in the world.
Yep.
And
Yeah, that you say any race in the world, or if we want to localize this to any race that I would run anyways, there are two different answers.
yeah.
The races I would run
Okay,
anyways.
well, give me both. What's the one
would-
that you're going to be running that you'd be signed up for anyway?
I think Big Hill Pond is on my list this year. Like, I think that is the one because I only signed up for it once and didn't sleep well the night before, so I didn't run it, and I've regretted it not running it ever since. So I need to come back and prove myself there.
What about in the whole world?
Man, I think it's the Red Bull. It's not even a trail race.
200 meter
It's
dash.
the 400, the Red Bull
Yeah.
400 meter where you're running up a ski slope.
Oh, that looks fun.
Yeah,
I'd like to do that.
I would love. I mean that's a bucket list race for me because it is right in our wheelhouse of how much can I suffer.
Yeah, pain and
You
just
know,
pushing through it. Yeah.
it's not about like I'm not gonna. None of us are expecting to win, but it's about completing the race. And,
How long does that race take people to finish?
I don't know the answer to that.
I mean, how long is it?
It's 400 meters. It's a quarter mile.
Did you already say that?
It might even be 200.
I-
It might even be 200 meters.
No, I think that the race I'm talking about is called the Red Bull 400.
I'm talking
and it's a
about the same
400 meter race.
Yeah.
What's the distance?
That's a quarter mile.
It's a
What about you, Vaughn?
locally, I believe, Wichita in April.
Cool.
Is that on your list this year?
No.
Okay.
I don't think
That's
I have
okay.
anything on my
That's
list
okay.
this year.
That's okay.
But if I could do anything, I think I would do that one this year. Because I don't think they did it last April. If you remember, that's when we started quarantine last March.
Yeah.
And so they canceled it last year, and now that she's brought it back this year, and I was like, oh man, that'd be so much fun to go do that. And if you remember, last year was the one that I DNF'd because I was just screwing around, having a good time.
Oh, 2019 was when you DNF'd, right?
Showed up to the race and was like,
Thirsty's got it on his calendar.
No.
And,
he said last year twice. I'm sorry.
I did. That was my fault. But when I said last year, what I meant was the year before because last year was canceled.
Yeah.
But anywhere in the world, Leadville, I would go run Leadville 100.
Man, that would And let's talk about like what race can I run where they're not going to impose the time limit on me? They're not going to pull me from the course. Leadville would be one of my races.
That's a better question. Yeah, with no time limit.
It doesn't matter if it takes me 48 hours to finish it. Like I would enjoy traversing the Leadville course.
But I would want to finish in 24 hours.
Yeah.
I would want the belt buckle.
Amanda.
If there was no time limit, the Chattanooga, the 3 races that Chattanooga does.
yeah.
Stage race.
Yeah.
That is actually a bucket list for me that I will do one day.
Sub 12-minute mile.
Yeah,
Man,
I'm
that's
not
impressive.
fast enough for those.
That
Just
is
not.
impressive.
And it's in June, so it's not going to be
Yes.
It's not even
cold.
Yeah, it's already humid. Yeah.
Mine was and is Big Hill Pond. And as far as anywhere in the world, Big Hill Pond.
Really?
It is.
Yeah.
It really is a great race.
Yeah.
It's well run. It's
I just like them. I like what they've done with the race. I like how many people enjoy the race, and I think that's cool.
Have you seen the posts? They're doing some kind of fundraiser for all the different parks where they're measuring the parks by donations to the park, and
I saw that.
Big Hill
Yeah.
Pond is like in the top 5, and it's
Is
a
it
direct
really?
result of the race.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So well done. That's fun. All right. Jeff Welling asked, should a runner do speed work for an ultra?
Yes, absolutely. You should do speed work. Yes.
Because doing speed work means that the lower paced running you do in an ultra is easier.
If you could only do speed work, you could not travel any more than a half mile at any one interval in your training, or you only put in miles. Which one do you think would be more beneficial? You only did long runs,
It depends on if you're doing anything else.
Are you
Yeah.
crossfitting with this?
Yeah. I mean, if
I don't
you're-
know that I'm going anywhere with this.
if
I'm
you're
just trying
weightlifting
to.
or
I'm trying to come up with something really interesting, and I think
you're
it's too
gonna,
difficult.
it's
Which
fine.
one would I enjoy more? I would enjoy long runs more than speed work. Which one do I think would be better for an endurance race? I think the speed work over the long term would do more for an endurance race.
I guess the CrossFit or cross training would probably be as important as anything else.
Oh,
because-
definitely.
If you're not doing anything else at all, you're probably going to perform better doing just the long runs,
Yeah.
right?
Mentally, you'd be in a better place.
You're going to perform better. But if you're doing some sort of strength and conditioning in addition to your shorter interval runs, yeah. But the interval runs make you faster, right? And also you get the work in without putting adding so many miles to your training,
Yeah.
to where you're running.
Without the stress on your joints.
Yeah.
But then the intervals, when you pick up the pace, I mean, you set yourself up for injury pretty good there too.
I don't know. I mean, I've never had that problem with interval running.
Well, I think that when you're putting out at a higher intensity, there's a greater risk of injury. Is that inaccurate?
I don't know.
It seems like every time
question.
I try to move more than about 4 miles an hour.
Most of the time when I'm running at high
breaks.
intensity, I'm on a track, and it's a low, the
Lower impact.
lower. I mean, it's not like I'm on pavement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I'm going like at 80% running a mile as fast as I can, it's usually on a track. And the impact is not as great as running on the pavement. So
I think ultimately it comes down to exceeding your current limits, whether that's in endurance or in intensity, increases the risk of injury. Because there were times that I was doing a lot of speed work and like I went out to run faster than I've ever run before, even if it was only for 100 meters, and like pulled something. But then there's also times that I've done a 30-mile run when I wasn't prepared for it and pulled something. You know what I mean? So it just...
But, I've also known people who've gone out for a 100-meter sprint and fallen on their face. So
Right.
there's always that risk of,
Yeah. I woke up to pee and pulled something.
Hey, you're not supposed to talk about that in public.
I was out today and I was done peeing. I pulled my calf again today. My calves just keep on acting up, and it's driving me
You got to stretch more.
crazy. You think that's it? You think it's just stretching? Of
course,
I mean, I get on the stairs for like 10 seconds and do my toe bit.
Do you foam roll and everything like that?
I don't do anything.
Yeah.
So I was totally busting your balls when you asked about the zero drop thing. But it's interesting to me that affects you that much.
Oh, man. So bad.
I mean, I believe I've heard other people mention it, so it's obviously a thing.
Yeah.
It's not just you in your head, but I don't know. I don't know what I wish I knew what caused that.
Well, I have incredibly high arches, to the point to where I had corrective shoes when I was young. And I don't know if that has anything to do with anything at all, but I just can't. The pain that's associated with that, I thought that my calves would get stronger and get better at that, but they really don't seem to.
Man, I wonder, like, do people with fallen arches, me, have an advantage because when we get into a shoe that has more support, it doesn't hurt us, but the lack of support we're used to, where the reverse is true for you, where you have high arches, so you need the support, but the lack of support actually hurts.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have.
It would seem that it would be that way.
I mean, I don't think. I think that probably my ankle mobility has a lot to do with it too. I just don't have any ankle mobility.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think no matter where you are, like if you're not, you should be doing like some sort of ankle mobility, calf strength, ankle strength.
Can you put your legs together and squat?
Whenever
no,
and whenever I've gotten this question so many times over the years about like why does my calf hurt? Why do my ankles hurt? Why does the bottom of my foot hurt? Why does all this stuff hurt when I'm doing? And nobody ever practices. Nobody ever does specific work on their ankle joints, their foot strength, right? Their calf strength. Like how many times you've done calf raises?
Right.
How many times you've been out doing, things like that help your feet get stronger.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times people put on these zero drop shoes and they're like, well, these hurt. Everything hurts. Well, you're not strong enough to be doing that. You shouldn't be out there running.
Well, that goes back to like what I was talking about with you shouldn't be doing a workout that you haven't prepared for the intensity for the endurance
absolutely.
for. Same thing. You don't just jump into a zero drop shoe. You got to work your way there and do the mobility stuff that goes with it. So
Well, that reminds me.
Can I jump back to this real quick?
Sure.
This could be a copycat fan.
Oh,
You think it is?
We need to
That's a
investigate the tracking number on the first one to make sure they both came
just
from the
to
same.
be
Just
thorough.
saying. I just wanted to throw because it's not unheard of. I've watched enough documentaries.
That's
It could be
interesting.
a copycat fan.
Huh.
Yeah, somebody trying to set old Brenda up. Can't have that.
Maybe so.
Speaking of cross training stuff, I took Grayson to CrossFit today.
Oh yeah, sure did.
How'd he do?
He did really good.
Was he into it though?
He was.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I should have gone heavier. I'm like, no, I don't know.
No.
You did fine. You
How
did
old?
fine with what you
How
had."
old is he?
He's 14. So, but he
I should have
he
gone
had a
heavier.
blast.
Said every dude ever
Yeah.
that walked into the
Yeah, I
gym.
know he was looking around at all of us, everybody else, what we had, but it's
Don't
like, you did
compare-
fine.
Don't compare your day one to somebody else's day 1,000.
He was excited. He came home and he was just talking. Loved everybody there. Said everybody
Love John Veazey.
really cool to him. And there, there's something to be said for that. There's a lot of. I always appreciated when adults treated me like I was a normal, equal person. And to be younger and grow up in that environment where everybody's kind of on the same plane, I think that instills a lot of confidence, really at any age. I mean, even anytime you're younger and you're being respected by people that are older than you, I think that there's a lot of good to come out of that.
I wouldn't intentionally treat anybody younger than me any other way. I mean, that's, it's so funny. There are always people of a certain age that get mad when I call them sir or ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
I call my grandkids sir and ma'am. It's a matter of respect. It's just how you treat people because you want them to just grow up in that environment and know how to treat other people. Not like if you're of this age, this is how you should act. And if you're this age, then this is how you should act. It's like, no, this is just how we should act and treat people the right way. So. That's good stuff. And glad that the OBCF community supports that.
Yep. They did good with him. He enjoyed it.
I've got an interesting question.
Okay.
Well, the question itself it's from Zachary Marsicano, and it says, "What is it in pickle juice that makes it so irresistible?"
Sodium.
Well, I heard Alex Viada. I watched him write a really eloquent explanation of what pickle juice does neurologically.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To your taste buds when you're depleted of electrolytes. And of course, I don't have the brain power to soak that in and remember anything about it, which makes you wonder why I would even bring it up. But there is supposedly something to pickle juice besides there being a lot of salt in it, and it tasted really good when you're
There have been
sodium.
studies done with elite athletes that have shown that them just swishing an electrolyte drink around in their mouth and spitting it out gives them the same performance boost as if they had actually ingested it.
That may have been where he was going with the taste bud thing.
And something about it psychologically or neurologically or whatever gets your body thinking that it has the things.
I've heard people say that about, like you drink a Coke and it's sugar and that insulin response from your body or whatever. Do you drink a Diet Coke? It does the exact same thing. So it doesn't make a difference whether you're drinking Diet Coke or regular
Right, yeah.
Coke. So I've heard people say that too.
Yep.
So
Pickle
I
juice lowers blood sugar spikes.
I don't know the science behind all of it, but just speaking about electrolytes in particular, I've read some stuff where they did studies on Gatorade and other stuff, and basically the elite athletes who are at the top of their game and they're looking for all of the ways to improve by the 0.1%. Not actually ingesting the electrolyte was
just put
was
it
an
in your mouth and
improvement.
spit it out.
Basically just swish it around and then spit it out, and their body got the exact same response, uptick in performance as if they had drank it.
So the next time I want to eat a bunch of pizza rolls, I wonder if I could just chew them up and
Nope.
spit them out.
Nope.
Will I still get fat? Or
Here we go. Scientists
still
believe
get
that a mouth reflex triggered by the juice sends signals to the nerves to stop the cramps.
Really?
Interesting.
It's some good stuff. Do you think you had those pickle juice things that look like 5 Hour Energy?
Yeah, man.
Do you think that's stuff that tastes like pickle juice, or do you think that's actual pickle juice?
They say it's actually pickle juice, and I believe them.
Okay. I love pickle juice, man. And Katie had asked about it. I like dill pickles.
Okay.
Dill pickle juice.
I answered
There
her.
was someone got, what was the last race I ran?
I've got a 5-gallon bucket. We can all have one.
Yeah, there's one outside.
I don't like sweet pickles.
To this.
Oh,
These
me
aren't
neither.
sweet pickles.
I think they are. It says on the outside of the thing.
Mine?
The big white jug you got?
Yeah,
It
they're
says
not
on-
sweet pickles.
It says on the outside of it, it says something like,
Sweet gherkins or something like that.
yeah.
Ew.
It's not sweet pickles.
Well,
Okay.
I just remember looking at the picture. I was like, I don't want those because they're sweet pickles.
I want you to have one.
Anyway, I was going to say, I
Hey,
think
Vaughn, he wants you to put his pickle in your mouth.
I'm not pulling on anything. Okay? I think it was Big Hill Pond. No, maybe. But I haven't ran many races. But I was at an aid station and I grabbed pickle juice, what I knew was pickle juice, and I was like, and the guy stopped me and he goes, "That's not Mountain Dew." And I was like, "I know, I'm drinking it. I want the pickle juice."
I filled a whole my handheld at Sylamore up with pickle juice, the whole
Really?
thing,
Wow.
and didn't know it. I mean, I found out soon enough.
How do you do that? They had it in a water jar?
They have it in pitchers where they're filled
At
in little
where?
cups at Sylamore.
Oh yeah, it's Sylamore at
At the-
Blanchard Springs. Or the
Well,
first.
you thought
that
it was-
and the
one where you
grilled
cross
cheese
the
table.
bridge?
The grilled cheese table.
That's where. It is.
That might have been what
that's
I'm
not
talking about.
Blanchard
I don't
Springs.
know.
I can never remember all the
I
names.
can't either, but the grilled cheese table and the
Yeah,
aid station.
I know where you're
Those
talking
grilled
about.
cheese were good.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I don't think I had the fondness for pickle juice then. The whole pickle thing is relatively new. I mean, I've always enjoyed
Man,
pickles.
you're
It's so funny. If I can tell you a drinking story, like I went to one of Katie's work events, and they do like a weekend long conference for partners or whatever. But the employees go out one night, like for an employee party, and so we get to the party. And several of her coworkers know, like, I'm a whiskey drinker. And they're like, "Oh, come here, have a whiskey with us." And I was like, "Okay." And they're like, "You got to do a pickleback so you can shoot it." And I was like, "What's a pickleback?" And they're like, "It's a shot of pickle juice." And they're like, "He's going to hate it." I'm like,
I've done this.
I was like,
before.
I'll do the pickle juice by itself. I don't even need the whiskey I don't need the whiskey chaser. Like,
Do you do the pickles first and then do
no,
the
the
whiskey?
pickleback is the pickle juice. Gets rid of the burn of the whiskey,
Really?
or the vodka, or the tequila, or whatever else you're
Huh.
doing. That's the idea, anyways. But that they were just so sure that I was going to be turned off by like doing the pickle juice, and I was like, "No, man, this is my jam." Like,
Dude, I'd like to try that.
Probably my second year running Sylamore, I had a really bad cramp, like at 18 miles in my calf, where it was like seizing up, like really bad. And I went up to the aid station and I was like, I'm having trouble here. I don't know what's going on. And this guy gave me some pickle. He's like, "Drink this pickle juice." So I drank a couple of pickle juices. It's the first time I ever had it. And he goes, "Take a cup of chicken noodle soup with you." And I took a cup of hot chicken noodle soup down the trail. And it was like 5 minutes later, that thing quit thing. And I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Isn't that awesome?
This is
well,
the...
where I found out about those 5 Hour Energies was my first 100-mile bike ride. I was like 80 miles in and got to like the last aid station before the finish, and I was cramping up really bad. But they had some of those. I can't even think of what it's called. It's
You're referring to the pickle juice shaped like 5 Hour
That's a
Energy.
5 Hour Energy. Yeah. And they gave me like 2 or 3 of those, and I just started shooting them, and within 10 minutes, like all my cramps were gone. Now I was still worn out and tired and didn't crush the end of that race, but
There is
but I
nothing
finished.
better than ingesting something in the middle of the race and getting 10 or 15 minutes past the aid station and it kicking in, and you know that whatever you took was the right thing.
Yeah.
Then being like, holy
Like in
mackerel.
Zelda when your hearts go doo doo doo.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
K-Max just jumped in and said Gunner Pool is where the grilled cheeses are at.
Okay.
There we go.
But how are they going to be able to keep them warm? I hope so.
I don't know. All right, Edwin Prado asked the question, what are your thoughts on the overhead press as a test of overall upper body strength? I think that's a great question.
Like a strict press?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, he says overhead. I don't know if it's necessarily strict or if he's talking about push press as well. It's
Or does he
overhead.
mean like, should you be doing those sort of things?
I think he's saying that's. No, I don't think he's saying should you. I think he's saying you
Well,
should.
I mean,
but-
pressing is like the test of your upper body strength.
Well, if I can do a
Pressing and
handstand
pulling.
push-up, then I
You're-
guess it's my body strength, my body weight, right?
Body weight, yeah.
Well, do you
mean,
think
that's a lot.
do you think that's better than a bench press?
I think they're equal.
The challenge with an overhead press, whether it's a push press or a strict press, is that you have to have the shoulder mobility for it. And lack of shoulder mobility doesn't mean you don't have strength. You just might not have the shoulder mobility.
Yeah, but
for
I mean, if you can repair your mobility such that you can now do an overhead press, you are making progress.
What kind of shoulder mobility you need to do? I don't have any shoulder mobility, and I can do overhead presses.
Talk to Vaughn.
Yeah, watch me do any kind of pushing anything over my head and look how ridiculous.
Watch
You
it-
think that's
well,
mobility?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Vaughn is wicked strong in all the ways, but don't ask him to do a strict press or a snatch because of his shoulders.
But that's but to get back to the question is, yeah, that's a test. If I can improve that.
But is it the best test is the question.
Overall upper body strength.
What other best test is there?
I think that's the question.
Upper body strength.
What is the best one?
Well, okay, so what defines upper body strength? I would say
pressing and pulling.
a bench press is a better upper body strength than an overhead press.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
only
disagree.
because it takes out the shoulder issue. Now there may be some other issue that I'm not thinking of, that I'm not aware of, that comes in with the bench press, but
don't forget the squat and deadlift and press. Some sort of press, right?
yeah, I'd say but see, squat is not upper body.
No. I'm just saying you've got three fundamental things that you should be doing, which is squat, deadlift, and press.
Squat, deadlift, and press. Yes, I agree with this.
And so whether that press is overhead or a bench press, it might be easier for you to do a bench press versus an overhead press. But either one of those is going to be something you should be doing. But for me, if somebody might not have bad shoulder mobility, for me, it's probably easier to do a bench press. But if I could get better at pressing overhead, then that would probably benefit me more than a bench press.
I would also say that okay, so mobility not being an issue, where's the greatest opportunity for strength, on a bench press
It's
or
probably
overhead press?
probably bench press.
That's what
When
I
you
was going
say
to say.
mobility is a factor, is that because you push it out like that?
My arms do
instead
not
of-
go like this very well
Okay.
at all, and it hurts. Like right now doing this, my shoulders feel very uncomfortable. So when I lock my arms out straight
Yeah,
above
so
my head,
when he's like trying to snatch, he can't go through
cannot-
what
what
should be the natural
right now,
movement.
It feels like there's concrete.
Yeah.
Cement
Is that
inside of mine.
a post rhabdo?
I don't know.
No,
I've always had problems
yeah,
with it.
It's
You've always
been an
had
issue.
Yeah.
I like how you have your carrier over
Well,
here.
no, but we've
Speaking
talked
for all
about
of
this.
your-
I apologize. I'm sorry.
All of your
I'll shut up.
health-related things.
It's possible it could have gotten worse
Did it get worse, Thirsty?
just because I asked somebody about it. But anyway.
I think something that happens to a lot of CrossFitters is we try and go into like butterfly pull-ups and stuff like that before our shoulders are ready for it, and we wear out our shoulders before they're ready for some of the more complex movements that we try and do in CrossFit. But we see other people doing them, so we want to get to them faster, and so we don't do them well. And I don't know that that's his case.
I don't think that's.
but,
I can actually do butterfly pull-ups fairly well. It's not. So that's not the limiting thing. Whatever that involves, I can do that movement pretty well. So I don't know. One of these days I'm gonna have somebody look at it and somebody that knows what they're, how to fix it.
we got a guy.
Okay, I've got something serious to talk about. If this is the most serious question that we've had on this podcast to date,
Okay.
if you have two cracks at it,
Pepperoni and sausage.
pretty damn close. Pretty close. You come home from Kroger and you've got a thing of Pancho's white cheese dip.
No.
You've got the white. Shit, but this doesn't pertain to you. You have the white cheese dip.
I'm all about the
You've
white
got
cheese dip.
2 cracks at the microwave. You can put it in once, stir it, put it in again, stir it.
Why are
After
you
that-
buying white cheese Pancho's dip? Pancho's yellow Pancho's dip is the best.
I
Pancho's
agree.
dip.
I agree, but sometimes you have to get both.
What's the wattage of the microwave, just for clarification?
I guess that's important. An average microwave, the one that you have at your house.
Like it's your break room
What is
microwave
the-
or
yes.
your
Now, is
house
this-
microwave?
Is this
the
a
house.
Is this
Okay.
a Costco white cheese dip?
Y'all are
or
fucking
is-
No,
Impossible.
he said Pancho's.
It's a
No,
it's a miracle
no,
we
but
made
I can
it.
buy the Costco size, or I can buy like the
Okay,
small
right.
size.
So what?
He said Kroger.
Let's go back.
Oh, he did say
Let's
Kroger.
go
My
back.
bad.
The
I'm putting a match to the
regular
studio
white,
as soon as this is
regular
over.
white Pancho's cheese dip. What's the question in the microwave? What? What do you?
How many minutes or seconds? What's the time that you put in each?
2 minutes twice.
Really,
Why
I want to
are-
know
2
from the
minutes
audience.
twice. Why-
2 minutes twice?
2 minutes twice.
No. Why are we putting it in the microwave to begin
Because
with?
I
Because
fucking
it's
hate
rock
cold
hard.
cheese
It's gonna
dip.
be. It's gonna be like
No,
Because
rubber.
I don't agree that cheese dip should be cold, and I don't care. Don't
You
at
can't
me.
eat it. You can't eat it.
Don't at
The
me.
Leave
way
it
that-
at room temperature until it.
You're just gonna let it sit there, just stand over it and wait?
No, you just wait until it. You don't eat it. where
Apparently,
it's
you
hard.
don't eat cheese dip like beefcake, and I eat cheese dip. When we're
Man.
ready to eat the cheese dip,
It has to be
we take it
flavorful.
out
What
of the
is wrong?
fridge.
Why
we take
why
it
are
out of the
people
fridge, and we're
incapable
ready to eat it.
of answering a question.
He
The
said 2
question
minutes
is-
twice.
My
How
question,
many
and
minutes?
my answer is I don't put it in the microwave.
Okay, then you're out of the conversation.
2
Amanda,
minutes.
what's the time that you put it in for? You got twice.
I don't know. I've never microwaved Panchos before. I don't
Because-
eat enough cheese dip to know.
I just want to know. I want to know
Do you
who
think-
I want to associate myself
Do you
with.
think 2 minutes twice is too much?
Just way too much. Yeah, you're
I
gonna
think that's
you're
a
gonna
minute.
you're gonna melt the side.
a minute,
minutes.
stir it, minute.
Yeah, you're gonna melt your canister.
Yeah.
Putting it in there for 4
You're
minutes.
just gonna have to. You're gonna have to scrape the ooze out with a credit card out of your microwave.
Take it out of the fridge. Sit it on the counter for like 5 minutes, and you're dipping.
No, you would need more like 45 minutes, and I'm not waiting that long for anything.
So what is your answer?
I think 30 and 42.
30?
30,
40
30 seconds and 42 seconds.
Okay, that's
But then
no-
I get a third time
that's
crack at the
good.
microwave.
See, I think you're normal.
Yeah.
because that's not far off from me.
Is he
sitting out
though,
there.
Vaughn?
It's a
Is
little
he-
aggressive, but it
Is he
works.
normal?
No, it's not. It's like because that's about the same as me taking it out and sitting on the counter for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
It's
minus
probably
except for you don't have to sit there and look at it for 5 minutes.
But I don't do that. I just go do
So
something else.
5 minutes is how many seconds? 5 times 60. It's 300 seconds versus his 72 seconds. So yeah.
I would have already gotten full out of what I was eating, waiting for the ponchos to thaw out. That's crazy.
When they bring you cheese dip at the Mexican restaurant,
I hope people are that
Is
are
it
listening.
hot? It's not-
will
I
tell,
don't wanna
yes,
say it's hot. It's
Yeah,
not
of course
like-
it's hot. It's melted.
it's
let's
melted,
be
but
clear.
It's not like
Warm.
It
hot.
was melted at some point. It wasn't taken out of the fridge and left sitting on the counter for 5 minutes and then they delivered it to
That's
you.
right.
How do
Let's
you
be
know?
clear about that. Like it's sitting in a canister where it's warm to a certain temperature. Now, by the time it gets to your table, it may not be
It
hot.
tastes like it's been sitting on the counter for 5 minutes. It's ready
but
to
that's
go.
different. That is way different. We could not share cheese dip beefcake.
I knew that already.
More
'Cause
than
yours-
you and I could share it
Yours is
more
gonna-
than Vaughn.
Because yours is going to be boiling hot.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's the way I want it.
It's going to
His
melt.
is gonna. It has to
I'm
have
not
been
going to have to heat mine back up
raked
30
off the
minutes
bottom
from
of
now.
his microwave floor because he melted his damn. It's going to be a mixture of
I would
DuPont.
pour it. I would pour it into a bowl before I heated it up instead of leaving it in the container.
That's a thought. But then you got to wash that bowl later. You got to think about that.
Do I?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure Katie will watch it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm probably gonna get some hate mail here.
I
in
know,
a minute.
wait for it.
Just wait for that
When
one.
Pull
she
this
gets done
back up.
making her sandwich, she'll wash that bowl.
She's a minute or two behind, so it might take her a second to reply.
You're gonna drive up the driveway. and There's gonna be bowls shattered all over the driveway.
You get home and all your shit's on the lawn.
We're out of time.
What?
Yep, that's
200.
No, 200 supposed to be longer.
No, it's not either. 1 hour. Man, I've been holding
200
I've been
minutes.
holding firm on an hour for 200 episodes.
You got it.
Believe
Can't
that.
stop now.
Lift Heavy Run Long number 200.
In the books.
Thanks for listening.
Boom.